Hello everyone, Dan the 14th Prime here, bringing you this box opening and review of the Hot Toys Transformers Optimus Prime Starscream version. Here you got a look at the front of the box. Optimus Prime with the Starscream wings on. Here you got the back of the box, nothing fancy. I will say that in small print around where it says Optimus Prime up here, for example, it does say TF001, suggesting the first in a character line of more to come from Hot Toys. Alright guys, let's open them up and take a look. I'm standing over. Once you get the first lid off, you have this piece of decorative cardboard here. On the bottom it's got some of the names of the folks involved in the project to make the figure, and there's a kind of story here. You can pause this and read this about Optimus Prime defeating Starscream and taking his weaponry, which is of course the theme of the figure, which some people think is cool and a lot of people hate, and we'll talk about that. So here we are, final layer down into the box. You can see wrapped up you've got Prime on the left there, all the accessories on the right. So let me go ahead and get it all out of the box and upright, and we'll start taking a look. So here he is out of the box. You've got a good size Optimus Prime and a G1 rendering. You've got some accessories below here. At his feet, his gun, the Starscream head, exclusive piece. Over here you got a stand, of course, a couple of these null rays, what I assume will just be some attachment pieces, and over here, of course, a couple of things. Here he is a little closer. We'll just pan up and down so you can take a close look. Again, G1 design, pretty sharp paint job. That's a pretty true design to the G1 character. One thing that I notice as I look at him is he just seems to have some really beady looking eyes. So we'll look at those. Those might light up and maybe that will help. Let's turn them around. So here's the back view. Pretty consistent. I mean, some wheels on the back. It's a little bit different. Going down otherwise. Pretty good with what we'd expect Optimus Prime to look like. A little different shade of blue, kind of a metallic blue, even the red kind of metallic-ish. A neat weathered look to the paint. I'll do a really close kind of fly around here as best I can, holding the camera, just so you can get an extra close look at stuff. So let's take a look at some of the articulation of the figure. It should be pretty good. Here you've got an elbow joint, of course. Not a ton of range of motion there, actually. Comes up to about there, and pivots there, so kind of double elbow joint. To get the arm all the way up. 2 ratchets. Shoulder does this. I got a nice extension there on coming out from the body. That's nice. It's a piece of plastic in there that moves a little bit more, which helps with movement of the shoulder. Hands above the head, all the way around. Pretty good. He does have a, I guess what I call a bicep swivel, kind of at the shoulder. Nothing at the elbow. Hands. You get a couple sets of hands. These ones, I have a hard time even seeing. It looks like double knuckle. Yeah. So you get the knuckle. So you get the 3 joints. Actually, no. Yeah, you don't really get the fist, it looks like. You get the 2 main knuckles, but like here, doesn't come down. At least on this hand. The knuckle on the thumb and kind of the 2 joints on the fingers is what you get. You get some wrist, pretty good wrist, pivot, and around. So the wrist looks good. You can do the jazz hands. You can see he's got the ab crunch, so he's got waist movement. He can bend down at the waist, back a little bit even. You can see how the chest kind of accommodates right in here, so it comes down. I think you can even, there you go, get a little bit more. Send the waist underneath the chest piece actually to come down. It doesn't really kind of bend over, but it does give a little more movement here. Back and forth, not really much side to side. Does it? Actually, it must go left and right. Oddly, from a left and right waist, I'm not getting much here. So really just what you can get at the chest piece is the left and right. There's not much down here. That's curious. Head, yes, no. Up around 360. If you like The Exorcist, you can do that. These pieces don't move. Some kind of fixed gears and stuff like that. If there's anything interesting back here. Not really from a movement perspective. So if we pan down to the lower body, how can I get him here? Leg will go out, fine, comes up a little bit. This big hip piece is kind of in the way. Back a little bit, pretty normal. Knee bends. So backward movement, pretty realistic. Forward's a little bit light. You can get a little bit more. Knee seems decent. Can't get it all the way up. Not much twist. Doesn't look like any twist that will really stay for a pose. And feet. Back them up a little bit. What's he got here? His toe. He's got a toe that moves, a heel that moves. Foot doesn't pivot. Ankles tilt, of course. So you get ankle tilt. And you get heels pretty cool, so you can kind of put them in a more of a forward leaning pose. So the heel and toe movement is actually pretty good for balance to strike different poses. So that's the articulation. let's get him geared up now with all this Starscream stuff. So here he is, guys, decked out on his stand. I had to break out the stand because once you get those wings on and guns on, he's just way too back heavy to stand on his own. Off camera, I was trying to put his legs forward and lean him forward as much as possible to balance, but I just couldn't get him to balance. So I think once you get the wings on, you need the stand to provide something for him to lean against. But he looks pretty cool. He looks huge, big, imposing figure. Once the wings are on, the big guns are on. There's a couple different configurations. I also switched one of the hands here and put the gun holding hand on. This set of hands, it's basically like a fist. I wasn't getting any articulation out of the fingers. I was trying to bend these things. Didn't want to break them, but I gave them a decent amount of pressure and nothing's moving. So these are pretty much gun holding fixed hands, not articulated fingers. I've got one gun holding hand on them and one articulated finger hand on them right now. So he's got the big gun. He's got the Starscream turrets on the shoulders, which is one option you can put them on. You can also put them on the forearms. I'll show you that in a minute. And I've got one arrangement of the wings where they actually go on back of the wheels. So this is one configuration. See, I've just got him leaning on the pole. The wings peg in to the wheels. You can also just take the wheels off entirely and peg them into his back. We'll do that in a moment. Decepticon logo. It's a pretty sharp paint job. He's a plastic figure, so you definitely feel that when you handle him. He looks die-cast almost, but that's just nice paint. Sharp weathered look and paint job to him. So here he is with the Starscream head. Have him cupping it. I think for him to palm it, you need to use some double-sided tape or something. So here he is in his most controversial form. When this guy was announced, and if you've been reading the message boards, some people like this guy, love the aesthetics, love the G1 look, love the accessories, love the size. Other people hate him. So he's been very polarizing. The people that hate him, of course, don't like that he doesn't transform. He's not a transforming figure. And don't like that the persona here with the severed head and the destroyed Starscream just doesn't fit with G1 Optimus Prime. So there's strong feelings on both sides of the camps. I grew up a G1 Optimus Prime fan. Collect masterpieces. I just thought this was a beautiful figure. I don't mind the brutalness of it. I think it's pretty cool. I think Optimus Prime probably landing somewhere in between his G1 persona and his movie persona is sort of the right place for me personally as a fan. So I kind of liked a little bit more his Transformers Prime sort of mentality, which would have him, maybe not this vicious, but if you take the head away and you kind of have that set up, I like that a lot. So here's Optimus in his second arrangement. While I was taking him apart, I went ahead and put the batteries in, turned on the switch. You can see the eyes light up, and the matrix inside his chest lights up. It is just fixed in there with a light, so you can't take it out. But still looks pretty cool. When you close it up, you can see it through his chest. I don't know if it's showing up. Kind of that yellow dot in his chest. That's the matrix. So you can see in this setup the null rays are on the forearms, and you can either face them back going up the arm like here, or you can face them down shooting out like I have on the other arm. The wings is probably not obvious from the front. If I spin them around, I set the stand up a little bit more with the waist holder. You can see here, took the wheels off, and there's separate attachments for the wings that plug in here. And the wings have pretty good articulation. I didn't show before, but and the other ones do this too. But these pegged pieces actually rotate a few different ways. A couple pivot points on them, and actually the wings pivot around like this as well. So you can get a lot of different looks in terms of how you like your slants. If you wanted these coming forward more, but the wings back, you can do that. So this is what that looks like from behind. Very reliant on the stand with that much weight pulling them back. Alright guys, so what I'm going to do, because I know it's probably not showing up perfect on video, I know my lighting isn't the best either right here with this lens and the zoom I'm trying to get. So I'm going to finish this video with some stills with a flash and a better lens, and I think it's really going to bring out the aesthetics of this figure. So definitely take a look at those. I hope they're the best part of the video. I think it will show it the best. And let me know if you like the video. Till all are one.